I call the March 28th Municipal Facilities Committee meeting to order. Councilmember Jeremy Nutting is joining us via phone. Jeremy, can you hear us?
Yes, I can.
Okay, can you hear Jeremy? Okay. First order of business, I'm going to call for nominations for chair.
I nominate Councilmember Nutting.
Okay. Councilmember Mahoney nominated Councilmember Nutting. Do you accept?
I accept.
Okay. Is there any other nominations? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So you are chair now, Jeremy. Do you want to call for co-chair?
Yes. Is there any nominations for co-chair? I nominate Councilmember Mahoney.
Okay. Councilmember, do you accept? Okay. He accepts. Any others?
Any others?
None?
No?
None?
Seeing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Okay. So Councilmember Mahoney is co-chair.
All right. And do we have, due to my work constraints right now, I'm going to pass, I'm going to yield the meeting over to my co-chair, Councilmember Mahoney. And
Okay.
see you guys later tonight.
Okay, thank you.
First order of business, the approval of the February 22nd minutes. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
So moved by Councilmember Oxiger. All those in favor? Say aye. Because he's got to say aye so we can hear. Oh, he just turned it over to us?
Turned it over to you.
Okay, great. All right. I had the assumption he might hang on. All right. Let the record reflect that Councilmember Nutting, the chair, has left the meeting. And approval of the minutes. Councilmember Oxiger, you in favor?
Yes.
Okay. So that's approved. Moving on to the CDM building status and the capital improvement project update. I turn the floor over to you guys.
Sounds great. And I'll let Scott take the first few projects there.
Okay, Midway Park acquisition. Okay. Council, at your last meeting, approved the acceptance of the King County grant to do design work up at the park. So staff's in the process of working on a scope and fee with KPG Somas on that. And there will be public outreach and design charrettes while that whole thing is planned. So, and there'll be multiple opportunities that you guys as committees get informed of what's going on before we finalize anything.
Really quick on all these projects, going to ask you one question so you can include it in your information, is just what the target date of completion is. And if you don't know, you don't know. But if you've got a target, we're not holding it, nobody
Right.
gets their fingers chopped off or something like that.
Yeah, no, for Midway, the grant extends through November 2025. So design's the first step. When we get design, then we go out to bid, get construction. So hopefully we'll have a completed design before November 25, and then construction will go after that. So this isn't the total project here. This is just the design
Likely
phase.
2026 is what you're thinking? Okay.
Yeah. Cecil Powell Playground, long awaited, overdue. Update on this one is we have received the city building permit and grading permit. Got those earlier this week. So working with contractors, scheduled pre-con, and after that, they want to hit the ground rolling. So project got 40 working days without major weather delays. I would anticipate summer of this year, it'll be done, ready to use.
That's great news. We're looking forward to the ribbon cutting on that one. Right, Mayor? All right.
Fieldhouse play equipment, if you're driven by the field house, you can see some things are already installed and it's taking shape. Contractors working on it. We've had some weather delays at the beginning. Next week, they'll be doing the drainage system in the play area. And that one, again, weather permitting, we should be complete by the end of May this year.
Okay, I'll grab this next one. The Des Moines Memorial Flag Triangle. We've got our consultant, KPG, working on the design of the project now. You may have seen a public outreach survey was posted on the city's website and just closed in the last couple days. With that one, we anticipate construction to begin in August of this year.
Okay. I just want to make a statement about the Triangle Park that I saw some misinformation out there on social media. This is part of our bond, and it's a north entrance to our town that'll make our residents proud of it. In addition, and most importantly, what we have there does not pay honor as a veteran to our veterans, particularly our World War I veterans that in this particular area suffered casualties at an enormous rate. That's why the Des Moines Memorial Drive was built. And it had, it had the elm trees and everything else. So this is important to the veterans of this community, and it's part of the bond. It's not part of the general fund. I just want to make sure that was clear and on the record. But I appreciate you guys working on it, and it means a lot as a veteran and as a council member. This is a good project, and it's going to mean a lot to the community in a couple different ways. So thank you.
All right, and a couple of brief facility updates. Founders Lodge improvements. That was supposed to be quick and simple. Had a little bit of a surprise. So we had asbestos to abate. It's been abated. Now we have a structural engineer coming out Monday, April 1st, to do a structural evaluation of the building, let us know what they see are issues that need to be fixed and repaired before we can proceed with further improvements. So pending their evaluation and comments, we don't know where we're gonna go until then, so we'll find out.
I'm sure that probably in the future, after this is all done, we'll see some kind of cost assessment.
I would assume so, yes. I mean, first step, structural evaluation, their recommendations. Anything they recommend, we're gonna have to get an architect to draw up plans, go out to bid, get a contractor to install it. And once the building's structurally sound and we can do with it what we want, then there'll be other discussions about how do we want to use it now, who wants to use it, things like that. And the Senior Activity Center. In early January, we had a frozen pipe burst and flood the inside of the building. So currently we've got contractor working on bringing it back to the way it was before the pipe burst. They're working on the flooring right now, and a lot of the sheetrock has been restored, repainted. So next week they'll be working on the bathroom flooring, and the following week will be hopefully just minor touch-ups, final tweaks, and then we'll be open. This is the one I hate to guess the most on, because if I'm wrong, then, but I would say mid to late April we'll be open.
I was gonna guess mid-April, so I could be wrong and you could be safe. How about that?
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. You got any questions, Councilmember Oxiger, before we go further? All right, are we moving on to the new marina gate system?
Okay, just an update on the Marina Gate system. I know something got posted online about an April 1st start date. Just so it's clear, if it doesn't come from the city, it's probably not accurate. So that was a old page that we were kind of manipulating over the last few months, and it just wasn't ready to be on there. That's taken down. We're hoping to have mid-April be around the start date, where we've got a few hiccups right now with parts being delivered. Most everything is installed. Most everything is working properly. Our biggest hangups are the intercom buttons. We're waiting on those, which is the call button. Don't want those gates in operation without those being functioning. We're also waiting on some of our scan to pay signs and things like that. The Redondo parking, we have all of the equipment for that. It's all being stored in our storage facility right now. We're working with the parking company to finish the island design, equipment locations and needs, and we hope to work with the restroom contractors for the Redondo restroom update in order to piggyback on the trenching that's needed for that project. And then I think that was pretty much it for the parking,
Yeah, no,
unless you had something else.
no, just to reiterate a little bit, like you said, all the equipment's been installed, it's all been tested, waiting a little bit on some of the credit card aspects to work with finance on that, to get that information. Waiting for, it hasn't arrived yet, the QR scan to pay options, those signage and things like that, so we'll get that out. So as soon as we get all that, we'll get a definite date on when we're gonna go live. We'll speak with you about maybe giving a little trial period where we just get people used to operating the gates and things like that. And then we have some big, large signs made up that we'll be putting out on the entrances everywhere, letting everybody know that we're back to be a paid lot.
So last time you did what I thought was an excellent thing, you kind of had some staff on the busier days standing by and just kind of teaching people the use of the system and so forth. Is that kind of the plan again?
Yeah, I'm sure that most of our staff, and we'll get some of us, all of us out there and walk people through it. It's gonna, hopefully it's gonna be smooth, hopefully. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
No, thank you. Thank you for the update.
I have a question. Do we have 24-hour staffing in the grant?
We have staffing 7 days a week from 7 a.m. till 5 p.m. and then we have security that is there every evening to walk docks, walk parking lots, lock gates and things like that. But 24 besides cameras and those off times, that's what we have.
Okay, so I guess my point is with regard to the intercom, is it gonna go to some?
We've been on call.
Yes, sorry, I should have said more. The parking lots close at 10 p.m. to the public, so the gates won't open. So anybody after 10 has to have a placard to be there, has to have a legitimate reason to be there. And the intercom button will ring a night phone that is monitored 24 hours a day.
Okay.
Yes. And with that phone is the capability, if something is really a problem, we can actually physically let them out with the phone.
And just to remind everybody, what were the fees for residents and non-residents for like an annual pass? And what would the hourly rates be?
The hourly rates, I believe, are, if I remember, sorry, I didn't bring that, $2.50 for the first 2 hours, and then $1.50 for every hour after, up to $10 max. The all-day pass or lost ticket just maxes at that $10 a day. Residents are $40 annually, non-residents are $100 annually, with unlimited access every single day of the year.
To include Redondo?
Yes, when that goes online.
Yeah, when it's online.
Correct.
Okay.
And so the monitoring will be the same at Redondo?
Correct.
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any more questions? I didn't have any more. So let's move on to the Stephen J. Underwood, Little League fences.
Great. You know I'm a Little League fan, so I'm happy to report on this item. So the last couple of years, we've been having discussions with the local Little League about installing temporary fencing to allow for what are essentially big league fields to be modified into Little League fields. I'm happy to report that after some discussions we've had in the last few weeks, and kind of getting the right people connected, the Little League has raised the funds to purchase the fences. And so they were going to be ordering those shortly. We've confirmed with our facility staff that the stakes that you can put into the ground, so that you can put these fences in place and then remove them for softball games or other types of baseball games. The specifications that they've sent us have caps on them that we can then put into the ground so we can mow over the top, and they won't be an injury risk for other sports at the site. We are looking at hiring a new facilities staff member who can prepare fields, who can do the necessary services that we need, that's kept us from renting these fields out all the time. So I think we're in a really good spot. We've committed to purchasing and installing a storage shed at the park that can, because if you think of 3 of these fences, it's a lot of material. So the city will take that piece on. We can store the fences there as well as other Little League gear that they need. And I think that once we do this, not only will it be a better field for the Little League players, but we'll be able to actually utilize that park a lot more. And we could, it's a great facility. It's great. They're great fields. It'd be really nice to see, it full of Little League kids every weekend or when they're practicing and all that stuff. So I think we're in a good spot. Kyle with Parks and Facilities is going to be working directly with the Little League on logistics and getting that moving forward. But we hope to have those purchased and in play by maybe a month or so.
Fully on board, and I'll ask you in a second of what action you want us to do, to refer it to the full council, or are you going to go ahead as city manager and do it and stuff like that. But so a couple of when I was contacted about this, there were some people concerned about injuries for softball players with the cap things. I did my research and I couldn't find any. I was, I Googled everything I could think of. Did you guys come to that kind of same conclusion, or had you heard anything?
That was what I had initially heard, but yes, we looked at the specifications of what we received today from Little League about what they could purchase, and we talked to our facility staff, and they also weren't concerned about injuries or damage to the field or anything like that.
Okay. The other concern I heard was we have some of the nicest fields in the area at Stephen J. Underwood, and there was concern that the fields would cause overuse of the fields. Do you guys feel that's a concern?
If we have nice fields, we should use them. I mean,
Yeah.
a nice field that sits there unused is really.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm bringing up the concerns so we talk about it.
I mean, I think a nice field is a field that has kids playing on it. So, I think, and so, following up on that, we thought that there was going to be a bigger budget impact, or there was going to need to be some sort of policy change. But given that the fences can be purchased by an outside organization, the city contribution is relatively minor, and the fact that we're already bringing on a staff person that was already budgeted for this purpose, we don't need to bring this to council, and we don't really need anything from the committee tonight. I just wanted to provide an update.
Yeah, no, I think I'm all for it. I think the more uses we can use for our parks, the better. Councilmember Oxer?
Is the money for the maintenance person there, is that the money that was originally in the ARPA? I believe there was a $68,000 allocation for someone to deal with the closed gates and stuff at Stephen J. Underwood. Is that this position, or is this another position?
I believe this is a different position.
Okay, so we're not worried about ARPA funds expiring.
No, and I think one of these things when we're talking about our events and facilities, when we're specifically facilities, is if we have facilities that we can rent, that will then pay for the employees that maintain them. That's what we're looking to do with all of our facilities. And so previously we haven't had someone to maintain or do the work at this facility because we weren't renting it. But now if we have a partner that wants to rent it a lot, and we can actually get a lot of use out of it, that will help fund this position.
And with regard to the fences, are they the cities, or do they still belong to the Little League?
We haven't had those discussions yet.
Okay. And are there insurance ramifications with that?
I'll talk to the Little League about that. We might need an agreement of some kind.
Okay. I guess one of the questions there is that, you know, if they are owned by the Little League, can they be used by anybody else? Does the city have the ability to set up the park and stuff for somebody else that may not
Like
be
a
Little League
different
but
Little
needs
League?
the fences?
Yeah, those are all discussions that we can have as we move forward.
Okay.
I mean, I think you'll have some kind of an agreement, I figure you would anyway,
Mhm.
that works out those details. I just, like you said, more uses on it, more people renting the field, more kids in a productive, you know, form of exercise is, how can we lose there, right?
Mhm.
So, I'm for it all. Thank you for making it happen and work with the Little League organization. They got some good people there. And, you know, I look forward to, with the mayor and some of the other council members showing up at some of the first games.
Maybe we'll see him in the Little League World Series, someone from Des Moines.
Yeah, and it'll all be because we brought temporary fences in. Be a great story on ESPN 30. So, do you have any more comments of that? I didn't, and I think that's all we had on the agenda. So you have anything else before I move to adjourn? Move to adjourn? Okay, we're done. We are officially adjourned. Thank you, guys.